Hi, everybody. This is Chris Wiley with Wiley Development Group. I'm here to provide the preview for our event next Thursday, July 25th. This is for restaurant owners and operators and investors in the space and how to fuel your fast casual restaurant growth, specifically development of stores, how to build more stores in your market with resources you may not realize are available on tap to you, how to do it in a multi-brand strategy like we do. There's 4 topics we're going to touch on that may surprise you. For those of you who've been to our other events this year, you'll notice there's 4 15-minute topics. We'll do a deep dive with some guest panelists on each of these topics. The first one is down payment sources for prime retail locations and even ways to get a down payment or to get a prime retail location with no down payment at all. Some ideas that will surprise you, some things you may not have thought of, ways to tap resources from friends, family, private investors, and folks in your local market. But again, the zinger here is going to be how to do it with no down payment at all. The second topic will go 15 minutes, and that's the best financing options that you have at your disposal for getting those restaurants built. If you've got the cash for the equity or the down payment required by your bankers or your financing sources, now you need to figure out what the best loan is. We'll touch on SBA loans and why they work for the right things. We'll touch on why bankers loan on cash flow. And once you've got a few stores under your belt, and for those of you who are already multi-unit operators, why you really don't want to go back to SBA loans and all the complications and strings that are attached. But the zinger here will be how you can actually get stores developed with no loan at all. You will require equipment leases, but we can get TIs done. We're going to talk about how to get tenant improvements in our third topic. So how you can get the landlord to actually build the store for you. The third topic will go about 15 minutes, and that's fueling your growth. How to do it and by leveraging landlords and by leveraging 100% tax incentives created by the Tax Cut and Jobs Act that passed first quarter of last year. It was actually technically a 2017 law. And why it compels you to develop leasehold-based restaurants and not actually build your own buildings. It's all about creating jobs. It's all about expanding the brands for us. And we'll talk about how it enables a multi-brand strategy in your local market so you can stop turning down those leaks and tips you get from landlords, developers, realtors, local city councilmen about that new project that's coming up. These techniques can work whether you're doing leasehold tenant spaces and things like close down, pay less shoe stores, or whether you've got landlords or developers or build-to-suit partnerships like we've developed where they will put up a building for you on prime retail pad sites. But none of it works unless you have a multi-brand strategy because you've got to be able to control the spaces in that building. So one, we'll talk about how to leverage the landlords to do it, how the TIs can displace the traditional loans that you would have to build the store, how you combine that with equipment leases to minimize your cash flow impact on the store, maximize your EBITDA, and at the same time, how the government will allow you to take the full face value of that project, say nominally $500,000 for a QSR fast casual restaurant, and take that as write-offs this year, next year, and the year after that, sheltering the income created by the restaurant as an incentive by the government for you to build more restaurants. And if you have a multi-brand strategy like we do, if you're a Subway guy, if you're doing with Freddy's, our friends over there with Randy Simon and company, or other major brands, this is a way that you can capitalize on those locations that you find out about that are too close to your location, but within your service area. So we'll talk about in the fourth category, if you are strapped for cash, if you have limited resources, but you're in the business or you're considering getting in the business, we're going to talk about 4 ways to participate with us here at Wiley Development Group. We are an independent franchisee of Rapid Fire Pizza and Hothead Burritos. We develop both brands. We have an expansion strategy around the country. We are specifically looking for partnerships with folks who will operate the restaurant where we fund and you operate. We're doing that with people in our own crews today, managers, general managers who are promoting into sweat equity ownership positions, not fake equity, real equity. We want them to have ownership and pride in the store and be watching our bottom lines like we watch our bottom lines. We're seeking partnerships with existing multi-unit operators in markets around the country that would consider crossing over to our brands as part of a multi-brand strategy, and we will co-fund those stores where the JV partner in the market is the operator, and together we are a franchisee. And ultimately, it allows you to do more stores in your own market, to leverage the overhead you already have in your established footprint, and diversify, in our case, into the fast pizza market, into the fast Mexican market, and ride the wave that's there. In prior events, we've talked about how we're employing fast casual alcohol to change the game, to turn our stores into date night opportunities. And this also makes it a great opportunity for limited partner investors who would like to dip their toe in the water, like to get into the space, but do not want to operate. I encourage you to check us out. You can go to our YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube and search for Wiley Development Group. And under Wiley Development Group YouTube channel, you can see our past events. You can see recordings with our guest panelists ranging from social media experts like Matt Plapp to leading vendors in the space like I Pour It with Darren Nicholson, and our corporate partners at Rapid Fire Pizza Franchising and Hothead Burritos Franchising, folks like Kelly Gray, who are experts in real estate development and getting us the best possible locations we can. Thanks for taking a minute to check us out. We look forward to having you join us on our event. It's next Thursday, July 25th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you register for the event and miss it, you'll still get a link to the recording, and we'll send you the handouts from the event. And we look forward to the opportunity to tell you about our story, see if any of these ideas might change the way you think about building your brands in your market, and ultimately potentially have a partnership opportunity together. Thanks for listening. We'll see you at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Thursday, July 25th.